Did you hear about the 71-year-old man who passed away in his sleep last night? He wasn't sick, no terminal illness, no dramatic emergency. He spent the evening watching television with his wife, laughed at a joke his grandson told, then went to bed at 10:15, just like every other night. But the next morning, he never woke up. His family was devastated. They kept asking, how could this happen? He seemed perfectly fine. He wasn't on heavy medications. His checkup last month came back normal. It just didn't make sense. But here's the thing most people don't realize. After 70, the rules of nighttime health begin to change. What once felt like harmless routines, things we've done for decades, can suddenly become silent triggers for very real health risks. And that's what we're going to talk about today. As we age, our body becomes more sensitive, not just to illness, but to subtle things we rarely consider dangerous. A late night meal, too much water before bed, the temperature of our bedroom, even the way we lie down to sleep. Each of these things can quietly influence our blood pressure, our heart rhythm, our breathing, and our ability to fall into a deep restorative sleep. And sometimes they can create the perfect storm, quietly, painlessly, in the middle of the night when no one sees it coming. Let me be clear, this isn't about fear, it's about awareness, about helping you understand how small changes in your bedtime routine can protect you from some of the biggest risks that come after 70. You see, the story I just shared, it's not rare. Every year, thousands of older adults pass away in their sleep from what is often called natural causes. But what if some of those causes weren't so natural? What if some of them could be prevented with simple adjustments? The truth is, your body after 70 doesn't process food the same. It doesn't regulate temperature as efficiently. Your blood pressure reacts more quickly to small movements. Your bladder is more sensitive. Your heart, your brain, your nervous system. They all respond differently now, even to minor nighttime habits. And what makes this so tricky is that most of us don't feel these changes happening in real time. They build slowly, almost invisibly, until one day something shifts and the body just doesn't recover. So in this video, we're going to break down 4 bedtime habits that every senior should take a closer look at. Not because you've done something wrong, but because you deserve the kind of sleep that protects your heart, your brain, and your future. We'll talk about why eating too late at night can quietly disrupt your entire cardiovascular system. How drinking too much liquid before bed increases not only bathroom trips, but your risk of falling. Why sleeping in a warm room can do more harm than good. And how your sleep position, something most people never think twice about, could actually be affecting your breathing and circulation. You might be surprised, some of these are habits you've done for 40, 50 years without trouble. But now they need a second look, not out of fear, but out of care. Because protecting your sleep at this stage of life isn't just about avoiding a restless night. It's about giving your heart a break. It's about letting your brain reset. It's about waking up tomorrow, feeling strong, steady, and ready for the day ahead. So I invite you gently, respectfully to stay with me through the end of this video. You may just learn one small thing that makes a big difference in how you sleep tonight and how you feel tomorrow. If you've ever woken up in the middle of the night for reasons you can't explain, or if you've wondered why your sleep doesn't feel as refreshing as it used to, then this video was made for you. Stay with me, the next part might just be the answer you've been searching for. Let's start with a habit that many people overlook because it feels so ordinary. Eating a late dinner or grabbing a snack before bed. Maybe it's a bowl of ice cream while watching the news, or a plate of leftovers while reading your favorite book. Or maybe dinner just tends to happen later than planned, around 8 or 9 p.m. because the day got busy. It seems harmless, right? Especially if you've done it for decades without issue. But after age 70, your body handles food very differently than it did in your 40s or 50s. Your metabolism slows down. Your digestive system isn't as efficient. Your blood vessels are more sensitive. And what you eat, and more importantly, when you eat, can have a significant impact on your heart sleep, quality, and overall health. Let's break it down. When you eat a heavy meal right before bed, your body shifts into digestive mode instead of rest and repair mode, which is what it's supposed to be doing at night. Your stomach starts producing acid. Your intestines begin to churn. Your heart rate remains elevated as your body works to break down the food. And while all this is happening, your brain is trying to sleep. It's a conflict and your sleep suffers. But that's not the only concern. Eating too late at night, especially large, heavy, or greasy meals, is one of the biggest triggers of acid reflux in older adults. When you lie down with a full stomach, gravity no longer helps keep stomach acid where it belongs. Instead, acid can creep up into your esophagus, causing heartburn, choking sensations, and even coughing fits that wake you up. Over time, repeated exposure to acid can damage the lining of your throat and increase your risk for aspiration pneumonia, a serious condition where food or stomach acid enters the lungs. For seniors, this type of infection can be particularly dangerous. Late-night eating also affects blood pressure and blood sugar, two things that are already more fragile after 70. After a big meal, your body experiences a postprandial spike that's a temporary rise in blood sugar and blood pressure. This might not be a problem for younger people, but for seniors, that spike can disrupt heart rhythm, trigger inflammation, and even increase the risk of nighttime heart attacks or strokes, especially in those with underlying conditions. In fact, studies show that seniors who regularly eat within 2 hours of bedtime are more likely to suffer from poor sleep quality, high blood pressure, and cardiovascular complications. Let me share a story. Mr. Allen is 74. Every night around 9:30 p.m., he'd fix himself a plate of spaghetti, his favorite comfort food. He'd eat while watching TV, then head to bed full and content. But after a while, he noticed something strange. He'd wake up around 1 or 2 a.m. with tightness in his chest, sometimes gasping or coughing. He started experiencing mild panic attacks in the middle of the night and feeling exhausted in the mornings. At first, he thought it was anxiety or maybe just age. But when he spoke with his doctor, they discovered that his late-night eating was the main culprit. The pasta, especially when loaded with sauce, cheese, and garlic bread, was triggering acid reflux and disturbing his heart rhythm while he slept. When he moved his dinner to 6 p.m. and switched to lighter options in the evening, the difference was dramatic. He slept more soundly, he had more energy, and those strange midnight episodes gone. So what should you do instead? The key is to give your body enough time to digest before you lie down. Experts recommend finishing your last full meal 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. If you still feel hungry in the evening, opt for a light, easy-to-digest snack, a handful of almonds, a small banana, a cup of warm, non-caffeinated tea, a few whole grain crackers with peanut butter. These choices won't overload your system, but they can still give you that feeling of comfort and fullness without harming your sleep. And try to avoid spicy foods, high-fat meals, sugary desserts, carbonated drinks. They might taste good, but your body isn't as forgiving as it used to be. The big picture: your digestive system is slower now, your heart is more sensitive, your sleep is more fragile. And by simply shifting when you eat, not even what you eat, you can support your heart ease, your digestion, and wake up feeling more rested. It's a small change, but it can make a big difference. Tonight, take a moment to notice when you eat dinner. If it's after 7 p.m., ask yourself, could I move this earlier by even 30 minutes? Try it for just one night. Then come back tomorrow and see how your body feels. You might be surprised by how much better you sleep. Let's talk about something that sounds healthy and usually is, but can actually cause more harm than good if done at the wrong time. Drinking too much liquid in the evening. Now let's be clear, staying hydrated is incredibly important. In fact, as we age, we become more prone to dehydration, which can affect everything from our energy levels to our memory. But the timing of your fluid intake matters more than most people realize, especially after the age of 70. Have you ever found yourself waking up once, twice, maybe even 3 times a night, just to use the bathroom? You shuffle to the toilet in the dark. Sometimes your legs feel wobbly. Sometimes you feel dizzy when you stand up. And then when you get back to bed, it's hard to fall asleep again. Sound familiar? If so, you're not alone. And chances are your evening fluid intake may be the silent culprit. Here's what happens as we get older. Our bladder muscles weaken, our kidneys continue filtering fluids even while we sleep. Our brain becomes more sensitive to the urge to urinate, even for small amounts. And worst of all, our blood pressure may not adjust quickly when we rise from lying down. This can lead to a phenomenon called postural hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when you stand up. It can cause dizziness, lightheadedness, and in some cases, fainting. Now imagine getting up at 2 a.m., half asleep, disoriented. You stand too quickly, your blood pressure dips, you stumble, maybe even fall. It happens more often than you think. In fact, nighttime falls are one of the most common causes of emergency room visits among seniors, and they often lead to hip fractures, head injuries, or long-term complications that drastically reduce quality of life. But that's not the only issue. Every time you get up, turn on the light, and walk to the bathroom, your brain thinks it's morning. Your body starts to suppress melatonin, the hormone that helps you enter deep restorative sleep. And once melatonin production is disrupted, your sleep becomes lighter, shorter, and less refreshing. You may fall back asleep, sure, but it's not the kind of sleep that restores your heart, your immune system, or your memory. Over time, frequent nighttime awakenings can lead to sleep fragmentation, which has been linked to higher risk of hypertension, impaired glucose regulation, increased risk of cognitive decline, and dementia. Yes, something as simple as waking up to pee at night can ripple into major long-term consequences. Let me tell you about someone who experienced this firsthand. Her name is Ruth, and she's 77 years old. She's always been health conscious, drinks water throughout the day, takes her walks, watches her salt intake, but she noticed she was waking up every night around 1:30 a.m., sometimes again at 3:00, then again around 5 a.m. Each time she needed to use the bathroom, and each time it took longer and longer to fall back asleep. She started feeling groggy, foggy, and irritable in the mornings. Her energy dropped, her mood shifted. She even began forgetting things, appointments, names, where she put her glasses. Her doctor suggested a simple experiment. Stop drinking fluids after 6:30 p.m. and instead hydrate more earlier in the day. Within a week, Ruth's sleep improved dramatically. She was only waking up once, sometimes not at all, and the morning fog had started to clear. So what should you do? Front-load your hydration. Try to drink most of your fluids before 4:00 or 5:00 p.m. This gives your body time to process and eliminate excess fluids before bed. Taper off liquids in the evening. After dinner, limit your intake to small sips if you feel thirsty, not large glasses of water. Watch for hidden fluids. Soups, juicy fruits like watermelon, and certain medications can also increase fluid levels. Avoid caffeine and alcohol in the evening. Both are diuretics, meaning they increase urine production and can make nighttime urination worse. Use the bathroom before bed, even if you don't feel an urgent need. These small steps can reduce nighttime awakenings, protect you from falls, and help restore healthy, uninterrupted sleep. Why does it matter? Because the fewer times you wake up at night, the more likely your heart stays in a steady rhythm, your brain goes through its full sleep cycles, and your immune system, memory, and balance all benefit. We often think of water as completely harmless, and during the day it is. But after 70, your nighttime routine deserves just as much care and planning as your meals or your medication. Tonight, try something different. Finish your last full glass of water by 6:30 p.m. Take small sips only if needed after that. See how many times you wake up during the night and how you feel in the morning. You might be amazed at how powerful this small change can be. Let's take a moment to talk about something we often associate with comfort and safety: a warm, cozy bedroom. For many older adults, warmth equals relaxation, so we crank up the heat, layer on heavy blankets, maybe even sleep in flannel pajamas, thinking it'll help us fall asleep faster and stay warm through the night. But what if I told you that a bedroom that's too warm might be quietly interfering with your sleep and even putting your heart under unnecessary stress? As we age, our ability to regulate body temperature decreases. That means our body struggles to cool down when it gets too hot, especially during sleep, when the internal cooling system naturally slows. And here's why this matters. Your body is designed to lower its core temperature at night to signal that it's time for deep sleep. This drop in temperature is part of your natural circadian rhythm. But when your room is too warm, your body can't make that drop. And when that happens, deep restorative sleep becomes harder to reach. Instead of resting, your body keeps working, trying to sweat, trying to cool itself down, and your heart works overtime in the process. Think about it. Have you ever woken up sweaty in the middle of the night, even when the blankets felt right before bed? Or felt restless, tossing and turning, only to wake up groggy even after a full night in bed? That's not just discomfort. That's your body signaling that the environment is fighting against the natural sleep cycle. But it goes deeper than restlessness. Sleeping in a hot room, especially consistently, can contribute to dehydration, even if you didn't realize you were sweating. Thicker blood, which increases the risk of clots, elevated heart rate, which raises nighttime blood pressure, and ultimately higher risk of heart attacks and strokes during sleep. For seniors with pre-existing heart conditions or circulation issues, this stress on the cardiovascular system can be dangerous, even fatal. Let's talk about Frank, a retired school principal, age 74. Frank liked his room warm and snug. He kept the thermostat set at 75 degrees, wore heavy pajamas, and slept under 2 thick quilts, even in the spring. He believed it helped him relax. But every morning, Frank woke up exhausted. He was sweating through his clothes, his mouth felt dry, his heart would be racing. He assumed it was just part of getting older, until he mentioned it casually to his doctor during a checkup. His doctor suggested trying something different. Lower the room temperature to 65 degrees, switch to a light cotton blanket, and wear breathable pajamas. Frank wasn't convinced, but he gave it a try. The result, within days, his sleep improved. He woke up less often during the night. His energy came back, and for the first time in months, he described waking up feeling clear-headed and light. All he did was cool down his environment. So what's the ideal bedroom temperature? Most sleep experts recommend between 60 degrees and 67 degrees, 15 degrees C to 19 degrees for optimal sleep. Yes, even for older adults. If that sounds too chilly, try these small adjustments. Use lightweight breathable blankets instead of heavy ones that trap heat. Switch to cotton or bamboo sheets which allow air to circulate. Wear moisture-wicking sleepwear that keeps your body cool but comfortable. Use a small fan or open a window to improve airflow. This can help more than you'd expect. Avoid using electric blankets or space heaters overnight unless they have automatic shutoff features and you monitor the temperature carefully. These tweaks may seem simple, but they work with your body's natural rhythms, not against them. Why is this so important? Because a cooler sleeping environment isn't just about comfort. It's about letting your body do what it's designed to do at night. Regulate your heartbeat, stabilize your blood pressure, restore immune function, consolidate memory, protect your heart and brain. And when your room is too warm, those essential nighttime repairs can't happen properly. Remember, your body's more temperature sensitive now than it was in your 30s or 40s. What felt just right back then might actually be working against you now. We often think of health changes in terms of medicine, exercise, or diet, and all of those are important. But sleep is the foundation, and your sleep environment is one of the most powerful tools you have to protect your health without pills, without appointments, and without effort. Tonight, take a moment to check your bedroom temperature. Is it above 70 degrees? Try lowering it by just 2 or 3 degrees. Notice how your body responds. You may sleep deeper, wake up clearer, and feel a calm you haven't felt in a long time. Let's talk about something you do every single night, without even thinking about it. How you sleep, not how long, not how deeply, but simply the position of your body when you lay down. Most people assume that as long as they're comfortable, their sleep position doesn't matter. You might be a back sleeper, a side sleeper. Maybe you curl up with a pillow or stretch out like a starfish. But here's the truth, after age 70, your sleep position can quietly influence your breathing, your circulation, and even your risk of serious health events like heart failure or stroke. Well, because as we age, our bodies go through subtle but important changes. Muscle tone weakens, especially in the throat and diaphragm. Lung capacity decreases. Blood vessels become more fragile, especially around the heart. And soft tissues relax more easily, which can affect your airway during sleep. That means that the way you position yourself at night can either support your heart and lungs or make them work harder while you sleep. And that's not something we want to overlook. Let's talk about the most common and often most dangerous position for older adults: sleeping flat on your back. Now, this might surprise you. Sleeping on your back seems natural. It might even feel good. But when you lie flat on your back, gravity causes your tongue and soft tissues in your throat to fall backward. This can partially or fully block your airway while you sleep. This is called obstructive sleep apnea, and it's more common than most people think, especially in seniors. You might not even realize you have it. You may not wake up gasping for breath. But if you snore loudly, wake up with headaches, or feel exhausted even after a full night's sleep, sleep apnea could be the reason. And sleep apnea is not just about snoring. It increases your risk of high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat arrhythmia, heart attacks, strokes, and even sudden cardiac arrest during sleep. Let me introduce you to Robert, a 76-year-old grandfather and former pilot. For years, Robert slept flat on his back arms by his sides, face toward the ceiling. His wife often noticed that he would stop breathing for a few seconds, then suddenly gasp. She'd nudge him worried, but Robert always brushed it off. "It's just snoring, I'm fine." But over time, Robert began waking up with dry mouth, brain fog, and pounding headaches. He felt tired all day, even after 8 hours in bed. Finally, he went in for a sleep study. The results shocked him. He was experiencing over 30 apnea events per hour, tiny moments where his brain wasn't getting enough oxygen. His heart was under constant strain. His doctor gave him 2 simple pieces of advice. Switch to sleeping on his side, preferably the left side. Use a pillow between his knees and one behind his back to prevent rolling. Within weeks, Robert's headaches disappeared, his sleep became more restful, and his heart health along with his energy improved significantly. Even if you don't have sleep apnea, sleeping on your back or on your right side can still cause issues. Why the right side studies suggest that sleeping on your right side can put slight pressure on the heart, especially in those with pre-existing cardiac conditions. It may also affect circulation and contribute to fluid buildup in the lungs and legs, a condition known as congestive heart failure. So what's the best position? Sleeping on your left side. This position supports blood flow to the heart, promotes better digestion, reduces acid reflux, and helps keep your airway open. It's simple, natural, and makes a significant difference, especially as your body ages. How to make the shift? Use a body pillow to help stay in place. Tuck a small pillow behind your back to prevent rolling over. Place a pillow between your knees to align your hips and reduce pressure on your lower back. Elevate your head slightly with a supportive pillow to help keep your airways open. It may take a few nights to adjust, but once your body gets used to it, you'll likely notice fewer awakenings, less snoring, and more energy the next day. Why does this matter? Because sleep isn't just about rest, it's about recovery. It's the time when your heart slows, your brain heals, and your body renews itself. But only if you're giving it the right environment to do so. And sometimes that starts with something as simple as how you lie down. Tonight, take note of how you fall asleep. Are you flat on your back, curled to your right? Try shifting to your left side and use a pillow to stay there. Your heart, your lungs, and your body will thank you in the morning. By now, you've heard 4 habits that may seem small, harmless even, but for those of us over 70, they can quietly create ripples. Ripples that reach our heart, our sleep, and ultimately, our quality of life. Let's take a moment to recap. Eating too late at night forces your body to work when it should be resting, affecting digestion, blood pressure, and sleep quality. Drinking too many fluids before bed might seem like a healthy habit, but it increases nighttime awakenings, raises your risk of falls, and interrupts the healing power of sleep. Sleeping in a room that's too warm makes it harder for your body to cool down and enter deep sleep, putting strain on your heart and potentially raising your risk for cardiovascular events. And sleeping in the wrong position, especially on your back or right side, can affect your breathing, your circulation, and your heart, often without you even knowing it. These aren't dramatic changes. They're subtle, quiet, often ignored, but they matter. Because after 70, your body needs your care more than ever. Not just during the day, but especially at night. The good news, these habits are completely within your control. You don't need a prescription. You don't need expensive equipment. You just need awareness, intention, and a willingness to listen to your body. If you're waking up in the night with discomfort, restlessness, or for no clear reason, don't just assume it's normal aging. Ask yourself, what did I eat tonight? Did I drink too much water before bed? Is my room too warm? Am I lying in a position that helps or harms my breathing and circulation? Even adjusting just one of these things tonight could make a real difference in how you sleep and how you feel tomorrow. You see, sleep isn't just about getting through the night. It's about healing. It's about recovery. It's about giving your heart and your brain the time they need to reset so you can live fully, joyfully, and clearly the next day. At this stage of life, that's not a luxury, it's a necessity. So here's my gentle challenge to you. Tonight, try one small change, just one. Maybe you finished dinner an hour earlier. Maybe you skip that second glass of water after 7 p.m. Maybe you crack open a window. Or maybe, just maybe, you roll onto your left side and give your heart a little more room to rest. Whatever you choose, do it with care. Not fear, not guilt. Just quiet self-respect for the body that's carried you this far and deserves to feel well as it continues the journey. And if tonight you wake up feeling a little clearer, a little more rested, then you'll know you made a powerful choice simply by listening to your body's whisper. If you found any part of this video helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let me know. Which of these habits are you going to try adjusting tonight? Your experiences matter, and when you share, you help others in this community learn and grow too. And if you'd like to see more content like this, gentle guidance, practical advice, and heartfelt conversations for the over 60 community, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Thank you for spending your time here with me today. Take care of yourself and sleep well tonight.